Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Happy Tips and Tea Tuesday.
Yes, Queen. Happy Tips and Tea Tuesday to you.
How you doing this morning?
Whew, I'm doing good. I can't complain. I mean, it is a little cold here. We got some snow, but other than that, it's a wonderful Tuesday. Blessed to be here. How about you?
Um, I'm not gonna say because people is not gonna be happy with me when I tell them what the weather is.
Hey,
Oh, don't say nothing.
living your best life. I'm not mad at you, Queen. Not at all.
No, it's not that. It's not cold. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's not cold.
Oh, but Grand Rises, everyone. Grand Rises, Michelle Pearson, Michelle Ramos. We got both Michelles in the building. Hello, Queens.
Let's go. We got double trouble. Michelle and Michelle. Let's go, Queens. Happy Tips and
Yes.
Tea Tuesday.
Happy Tiffany Tuesday and Grand Rises, Gina. Thank you for jumping on the live this morning. We're gonna say go ahead and tag a queen that you think can benefit from listening to the live this morning. This morning we are definitely jumping into talking about budgeting,
Yes.
budgeting for women, budgeting like a queen. Because we think rich people, right? That they just spend their money. No, they got budgets too.
I
They
know
got
that's
whole
right.
financial managers that's keeping them in track. So if they do it, why aren't we doing it? Right. So definitely want to say tag a queen, get them on this live. We have a very special guest joining us this morning, so you don't want to miss it. So good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tips and Tea Live. We are so glad that you decided to start your morning with us. Whether you're joining us with your coffee, your tea, or you're getting ready for work this morning, we definitely appreciate you being here with us. And for those of you that don't know, Tips and Tea Live airs every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. Central and 9 a.m. Eastern. And we have real conversations about money, mindset, faith, and building legacy. And I'm one of your hosts this morning, Satitra Booker. And of course, I'm always here with my amazing and talented co host, Miss Chantella Shabazz.
I am here.
Yes, here and present.
I'm here. Look at that. Look at God. We in the building.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are, Queen.
Well, maybe 2 more minutes to jump in before we get going this morning. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning, Queen. Good morning, Kier.
Good morning. Good morning. Drop in the chat where you're tuning in from this morning. We'd like to see where our listeners are tuning in from.
Yep, I'm tuning in from, I hail from Chicago, but I'm tuning in from somewhere else. And I'm not going to say because, again, I don't want people to be mad at me.
Ah, oh, Lord. Well, I'm tuning in from wild and wonderful West Virginia, where it was 74 degrees last week, and today we got snow. So this bipolar weather is killing me.
Uh-oh, not the bipolar weather.
Yes, I don't know if whether it want to be summer or winter.
You know, We was talking to one of our friends last night, and she was just saying, be wintertime one day, yesterday it was summertime, spring's supposed to be happening tomorrow.
Yes.
Well, at least it's not four
Global
seasons.
warming. What'd you say, Queen? I'm sorry.
It's at least it's not four seasons in one day.
Well, yeah, that's true. You gotta be thankful for that.
We got some Southern California in the house, but she's checking in from West Texas. We got Maryland. Oh,
Let's
God
go.
bless
Let's go.
you, from Chicago.
Yes, the Windy City. And I say Mr. Bossy Mitchell in the chat from West Virginia.
We got Pennsylvania in the building.
Let's go. Let's go.
Good morning, Andrea. Andrea. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome in. Welcome in.
All right, I say we go ahead and jump right in. See, because the Queen's got things to do.
Yes,
We got
yes, yes. Well, yes, good morning, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Tips and Tea Live. We are definitely here to talk finance, mindset, and legacy building. If you don't know, my name is Satitra Booker, and I'm here with Shantella Shabazz, and we are here to serve you some value this morning.
Absolutely. And just good morning again, everyone. And today, as we jump into this conversation, I just want to do a brief recap of last week's live where we had an incredible discussion about Nove World. We talked about our experience at convention. We celebrated International Women's Day. And of course, we gave a special woman honor, Miss Nikki Taylor, who was a part of our Tips and Tea community. So, last week was definitely just a beautiful reminder that there's power in our community and sisterhood. So, if you know any women that are supporting women out there, let's celebrate them. This is the month, especially to focus in and hone in on that. And we want to make sure that everyone that we're in contact with is growing professionally and spiritually. So if you definitely missed last week's live, feel free to go back and check it out. It's on both me and Satifa's Facebook page, and you can also tune in to our YouTube channel at Tips and Tea Live as well.
Yes, Queen. And thank you so much for that recap, Shantella. I mean, Nove World was awesome. And of course, we're celebrating Women's Month. So we definitely do appreciate that. And today we're going to continue the conversation about empowerment. But this time we're focusing on financial empowerment for women. And our topic this morning is budget like a queen. Okay. And financial strategies for women. So, women, we do budget and we do use our money wisely, and we have to be good stewards over our money. Queens steward money with intention, and intentional building is going to allow us to build financially, eliminate debt, gain confidence with money, and create generational wealth. And we have a special guest joining us this morning who is going to help us dive deeper into this conversation. Chantel, are you ready to bring our guest on?
Oh yeah, this is one of my business besties.
Let's go. Business besties in the house.
If you don't remember, she was on last year as well. What were we talking about? Finances, right? Getting ready and getting you prepared for home ownership. So Tish is also a loan officer, but we want to welcome, because we're very, very excited to have her in. So we'll welcome in Tish Griffin. And Tish is very passionate about financial literacy. She didn't begin in a classroom or in a boardroom. She started in her childhood on the west side of Chicago. And she was raised primarily by her grandmother. After her mother became disabled, her grandmother was the one who worked incredibly hard to provide stability to her family. And one of the things she was most proud of in that brick bungalow home was a place that represented safety, security, and consistency. But in the 28th year of her 30-year mortgage, her grandmother lost that home. Watching that happen changed the way Tish saw money and home ownership. From that moment on, she became determined to understand the financial systems that affect families, especially the ones most people are never taught about. So, for the past 30 years, she has dedicated herself to learning about credit, debt management, foreclosure prevention, and home ownership so she can help families protect their financial future. And I'm especially excited about today's conversation because Tish is also a very dear friend of mine. And we're just really looking forward to sharing a discussion with all of you. So please welcome in Miss Tish Griffin, the financial guru.
Let's go. Let's go. Welcome, welcome, Queen. Good
Good
Welcome.
morning.
morning. Good morning. Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited about today's conversation.
Yes,
Oh, thank
yes.
you for taking the time.
And thank you for that beautiful introduction because you are my business bestie, my close friend, and I've watched you grow so much. So it's exciting to be here with you both.
Awesome, awesome. We are definitely glad to have you with us again. You dropped so many gems when you were here last year. We had to bring you back, Queen.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
Absolutely. Well, we were sharing, we're going to jump right in because, the Queen's got things to do, and Tish especially be booked and busy, everybody. So we got to try to get in as much as possible. So I must put out a pre warning now. Everyone, please get your questions ready for Miss Tish. If you have any questions that you want to start getting ready to drop in the chat, go ahead and start pulling them up now. But Tish, we shared a little bit about your story earlier, but can you tell us in your own words, how watching your grandmother lose her home shaped your passion for financial literacy?
Of course. So, actually, what I didn't realize at the time while going through all of this, I always think that if I knew then what I know now, I could have done something more to help
Mhm.
the family, to help my grandmother. And I feel like a lot of us, we find ourselves in that struggle when we think about, like right now, what's happening is the older generation, they're passing on. They're
Mhm.
leaving their homes. Sometimes they get to the situation where they don't know what's going to happen within the home, who wants to take the home. People don't want it, people do want it, people think that it's a money grab when it's really not. So it's like watching that happen had a profound effect on my life, and I didn't realize it at the time. But what that created in me was the need for survival, because at that point, everything that I had learned, like my whole ground had been shaken as a young child.
Mhm.
And honestly, I was about 16 years old when the whole process started unfolding. So at that time, like you think you're ready for the world, but you're really not. And then you find out, man, this world is, I didn't know this was going to happen like that, you know? So that forced me at that age, before I was even ready to fall into survival mode. Now, what are we going to do?
Mhm.
Now what's going to happen? Where are we going to go now? I've been here all my life, she's been here all of her for the past, almost 30 years. And to get to that point and say, I tried to survive, but at that point I didn't, there's all these feelings that I know my grandmother had, that I watched her have.
Mhm.
Um, that, sorry, those things where you couldn't tell anybody about it, but
Right.
you know how you felt. So I see so many of us, especially Black women and entrepreneurs, struggle with that saying, I'm going through something. I'm going through something financial, mental, and I can't talk to anyone. So that really did play a huge part in establishing that foundation for me. Mhm.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And we have to keep those conversations open. I think
Mhm.
sometimes in the Black community, we try to keep things in the house. When you don't know, if you talk to the next person, they may be able to share some information with you to help you. So I think it's awesome and
Yes.
amazing that you turned that situation around and it's fueled you to do what you're doing today.
Yes, I want to keep the conversation going, because we don't talk about it. There's so much in the Black community that we don't talk about at all. Like no one wants to know that you're struggling. No one wants to know that you don't know what you're doing, that your budget is out of whack, that you don't know who to even turn to for help. But they do want to see you on Facebook living large, and and coveting what you have, or what they think you have, or what you're going through. But it's keeping those conversations together. I know when I was little, the first thing that I learned about money was that we didn't have any, because every time we went to the store, it's like I would ask for something and you were told no. You weren't
Mm.
told why. To understand that, hey, I have a budget. This is what's going on in the house. We don't have money or room for extra. There is no going to the restaurants, that sort of thing. Or there is, but we've got to do it, economically. We've got to think about what we're doing. Is this the right choice for you as a child? And I know that even as a child, those budgeting little tips that I could have gotten back then, They weren't. People didn't talk about it. So
Mm, that is so true.
Mhm.
When you hear the phrase budget like a queen, what does that mean to you personally?
with budgeting like a queen, of course, you think of royalty, you think of everything that you're supposed to have, knowing that you have. But on the flip side of that, man, it don't really add up. My numbers don't add up. So for me, it's about being able to keep and retain the coin because it's not about the money that we make, it's about what we do with it.
Mm,
So when you're budgeting like a queen, you're keeping those things in mind. And my latest blog post, you guys can check that out on my website at tishtalks.co, no M. But my latest blog post, I talk about like even how I had struggled with it and had to realize that's not the queen mindset. We've got the rise of buy now, pay later here.
oh,
I
yeah.
mean, everybody using Klarna, Fern for everything we could possibly want, right? We can get it right now. And what that does is that teaches us, that conditions us to be okay with whatever that payment is. We're not paying attention to the amount that we're paying in interest. We're not paying attention that, man, if I would have just waited 4 weeks, I could have just bought this with the money that I had if I would have saved it. But it's that
Mhm.
enticement of I can get this now, and you know, then we can go from here. I can get that trip right now. But there's ways for you to actually use those things to your advantage financially and become more of a queen when what you're doing with it, knowing that okay, if I use this method, I'm using it, I'm going to get some points here that I can use for travel, or I'm going to take this credit card, I'm going to pay this bill, and then when I pay this bill, I'm going to pay that balance off, but now I'm building my credit with it.
Right.
I'm not just using it to go make a purchase. I'm using it wisely like a queen. And my goal is to retain my coins and keep those coins in my wallet as much as possible. We've got other ethnicities, other nationalities that have banked on using other people's money, but we have to learn to do it responsibly. And right now, as a community, we're just finding out about this stuff. So we're excited about it, but it's all in trying to use it wisely. So,
Yes, ma'am. I definitely agree. You got to be strategic with your purchases and use money and credit as a tool.
mhm, you really do, because that's what it's all about. Um, so much we just left up to chance. Again, we're just finding out about a lot of this stuff, and now we've got the talk of generational wealth and creating generational wealth. But do we
Mhm.
really understand what that was and where it came from? Not really.
It's just a popular saying now.
Yeah.
Exactly. But keep in mind that when people first started talking about generational wealth, they were looking at other nationalities, other ethnicities. And when you think about that, what happens is they had their families that were here in the United States or in England, wherever they were for years and years and years. And their family, if their bloodline, they were cobblers, they were making shoes, everybody in the family made shoes
Hmm.
no matter whether you wanted to or not. So um, we've always got to keep that in mind that that's where that term generational wealth came from because the whole everybody came up behind them. I'm a shoemaker, you're a shoemaker, my baby gonna be a shoemaker, we all making shoes. But we got to the point where we're like, yeah, dad, I don't want to make shoes. Mom, that's not my calling. I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna try and do this. And even for certain people, certain nationalities, they will stay living 12 in a house deep, but their
Hmm.
mindset is different because they know I'm doing this with a purpose. We've
Right.
got three families in one household, and what's going to happen is everybody's going to pool their money together and we're going to bless each other as a family. You're going to get your house first, and then once that happens, we're going to take that money and then we're going to pull it and you're going to get your house. We're going to work together, and we're going to do that with the automobiles, we're going to do that with property, and that's how families create generational wealth and succeed. It's not everybody just saying generational wealth. It's nothing like that. It's being able to create a legacy with what you're doing, not just doing it, but creating that legacy, that bloodline that's going to carry the money over, carry the wealth over, and the assets over into each part of your family, even those people you don't like. But that's what happens when you want to create generational wealth. It's not just about you.
All right, now she on here cooking.
Yes, she is dropping them gems. Y'all drop some hearts and some gems in the chat for Miss Tish.
Absolutely. And the key thing I heard you say, Tish, when it comes to building generational wealth for the families, because we talk about it, and we think it's just something that we have to grind out on our own, and then we have to build up this wealth that so that we can leave it to our kids. That's still not generational wealth. Like you mentioned, is everyone coming together to now build the family up so everyone can eat, everyone can benefit from this, everyone can get a house from this. And while you're doing this process, the main word I heard you say was everyone contributes.
Right.
Yes,
Everyone contributes. Them kids be 8 years old. They have family restaurant. They over there cleaning the tables, bringing music to the
exactly.
table. The whole, everyone is involved, right? And that's what it is. So
Hmm.
sometimes, even if you can't do it with the family you were born from, sometimes it's doing with the family that you create, right?
Yes.
It's starting from there, right? So, even if it's getting in a like-minded community, that's going to help you build up. So, yeah, definitely. I love all the gems that you are dropping this morning. But we're going to keep it rocking and rolling because we got so many questions. We got so many questions. We got the financial guru in the building, published author. For
Yeah.
those who don't know, Tish does have a book that she has listed on Amazon, and it's a Black woman's guide to saving money. So we'll drop that link in the chat so everyone can check that out. But Tish is also a licensed loan officer as well. She works in project management for construction, newer construction, remodeling, and things like that. So she has a lot of different experience when it comes to finances, helping you figure out how to manage your money to get the property, what you need to be ordered to qualify from different avenues, and getting you to some new construction. If you want to get that house built up, now I cannot do that because again, I get overwhelmed. I overthink too much, and I don't want to pick out doorknobs and hinges and all these different things. But that's for you. You got it. She got you. She got your back. She gonna get you there. But Tish, another question for you. So many women hear that word budget, right? And I brought up the book because we're like, no, no, I'm allergic to a budget. And they kind of immediately think restriction
Hmm.
or sacrifice. How do you help women shift their mindset so they begin to see budgeting as an empowerment instead of a restriction?
Well, first, it really does start with that mindset and thinking about what your goals are. But even you may say, oh, my goal is to take a vacation, my goal is to get out of debt. Just because you said it doesn't mean that it's going to happen.
Mhm.
The intent happens when you switch from survival mode, and it's an intention that comes along with it. You
Mhm.
have to be intentional on, okay, I've been in this place way too long. So it comes first with the recognition that you want help, you want to change. You may not know how to do it, but you know that what you're doing is not working. And that's one of the main things that, helped me even as I navigate everything that I've been trained to do or that I've been taught to do, because sometimes it's hard to replace those old habits, especially if you're born with it. You see things. So it's being first able to recognize the need for change in your life, not in everybody else's. I can't talk about what you're doing or see what you're doing. No, it has to start with you first saying, man, this is not working. And they say, what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and
It's
over
very.
again and expecting a different result. That's insane.
Yes. So that mindset has to change first.
Mm.
And then your freedom can come when first you change that mindset and you start taking little bitty things that you can do. Now, Black Women's Guide to Saving Money. I give you tips in here on little things that you can do to tweak your budget. You can also, I have some budget worksheets available. You can talk to someone that will help you strengthen your foundation. First, after you do that, you got to recognize your habits too. Like, okay, Chantella, you know this about me. How many coffee shops have I visited in the state of Illinois?
Love
I'm
it.
not gonna
Like,
count it because I don't like telling other people's business.
but that was my weakness. And my friend pointed out, like, every time you go, you're spending all of this money, even if you just sit there and you get one cup of coffee for $3.50. But the next day you come back, you're gonna spend $20 because now you want something to eat. You've been there all day. And me, I'm thinking, I'm just there to use the internet, right?
You paying
But
for
my
that internet.
budget, right, my budget was getting away from me. It was for a good cause in my mind. In my mind, it was a good cause. But when I change that mindset to say, you know what, that's a lot of money that I'm leaking out. And a lot of money to some people can just be $3 a day, but $3 a day, 30 days a week, that's a new pair of shoes, that's a dress. I mean, I'm just saying, that's something else that you can be doing with that money. So,
Mhm.
needless to say, was able to get my own coffee pot. And now, guess what? Making my own coffee. So, I
Yes,
have
ma'am.
not been to the coffee shops like I used to, unless there's something in it for me, when meaning I can use a discount code. I can, splurge on myself just that one time. I probably been to the coffee shop. Honestly, last time I went was when I did my book signing. So, but it was a regular thing that I had to recognize this is interrupting my habit. It's interrupting my budget. And then I can sit down and start charting things out. Another thing that a lot of people that I see them struggle with is the subscription costs. Again, we're conditioning ourselves to be okay with that payment. If I take that $200 purchase and I split it up over 4 weeks and I'm paying $50, I'm okay with that this week and next week. But guess what? By the time, if I do that three different things, if I do Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay, my check is gone by the time I get it, anyways. There's nothing left. And I'm like, okay, well, what can I do? Now I got to figure out a way to do that. But I got this purchase here. I got this purchase.
Yes.
So we want to think about that, being able to, the problem again isn't the amount of money we make, it's what we do with it. So when we want to budget like a king, we've got to build those small financial habits that help you get there. And yes, we've got to be very intentional with it, because financial freedom begins when intention replaces survival. That's the one thing that I this year, it started last year, but this year, that's I'm intentional on everything that I'm doing. And that does not mean that I'm not going to mess up. We
Mhm.
all mess up, but it's recognizing that too, like, man, I messed up, what can I do to fix it? Let me get back in there. So those small habits also help as well. One of the things that I was doing with a friend of mine is a 52-week savings challenge.
Hmm.
So with that being said, I take $5 every week and I save that amount. I put that up. So by the end of the year, if I'm doing that and I'm multiplying it, and that's actually one of the freebies in the book. So I give you a calendar for you to follow when you start, and by the time you finish, you will have $6,850 just from saving that $5 every single time. And you may say, well, that's nothing, but to me, that's everything. That's money that you can take, and now you got, I know December comes, I'm gonna have $6,000. What am I gonna do with that? I'm gonna take that and put it into another savings vehicle where I can grow and make interest off of that. Because guess what? I survived all this year without touching it. So now I can take it and I can grow it. And it might be a slow process. Yes, a year, but guess what? When I put it into a different savings vehicle, be it put it into an IRA account, or my goal is to put it into a policy where I can watch it grow. I'm
Mhm.
using infinite banking.
Mhm.
And then it starts with that base of being able to dump that money in and watch it grow. And that's when you become more intentional and you become excited, because now it's not just something that you're talking about, but you can actually see it. When you do that 52-week savings challenge, you're putting this up, you're putting the money in an envelope, you can actually see that, and you're like, okay, it's different. It hits different when you can actually see it. Another thing that I like doing, especially like, I'm big on accountability, but I know that I suffer in that area. I cannot always hold myself accountable. So I have people that I can reach out to, Chantella, and say, hey, I'm at the store. Tell me to walk away. I have another good friend, like, hey, I'm here. I want to buy it. It looks so good. It'll be so pretty on me. And I'm like, just walk away, put it down. But it's good to have someone that you can talk to like that and help hold yourself accountable, because the reality is we're not all strong. We weren't raised that way. We have to grow into that area. So
Absolutely. I would definitely say, Tish is definitely a rock star when it comes to that with setting intentions, because we help each other. She helped me with boundaries and saying no. And I definitely be like, girl, get out of that stuff, put that top down.
those good old days.
Always good to have an accountability
Turn
partner.
around. Where are you?
Right. And we say, you know, do some people that you trust, but sometimes you might not even be able to find an accountability partner. If you need that, reach out to me. You can reach out to me on social media. My
Mhm.
number is plastered all over my website. And yes, go ahead. If you need some help, my email address is there. I can be your accountability partner. We can set up calls, you know, whatever you need, because it's about getting the word out, getting the attention out, helping us change our mindsets before it's too late.
That is so
Absolutely.
true. I definitely love it. I love the way you're talking about it being intention over survival, because we do have to be intentional with the way we steward our money. And I really am interested in learning more about that savings plan that you were talking about, putting that money away. Other than like Klarna and Afterpay and those buy now, pay later situations, from your experience, what do you think the most common financial mistake is that women are making when it comes to saving and managing money?
Now, this might seem off track, but for me, the number one thing that women do wrong is to forget about themselves,
Mm,
forget about what's important to you. And
Mhm.
those things need to be worked into our budget on a consistent and basis, being part of our daily and monthly expenses, so that it's not a man, I couldn't get my nails done because I didn't have money. But if we're intentional about it, this is what I need in my profession. I need to look this way. Now, I don't have to overdo it, but I know this is what I need. Let me find a way where I can budget. If my thing is to get my nails done, let me find some place where I can get my nails done that will work for my budget. Let me find someone that can do my hair, that will do it, and I might not have to get it done all the time. Braids may work, you know, but it's taking that cost. I know braids are about $200. Let me take that, and I'm gonna, instead of doing that afterpay for $50, I'm gonna put that $50 up so that I know every 2 months or whatever I have enough to get my hair done. But we go out of our ways to help other people, to make sure other people are okay, and we totally forget about ourselves. So that would be the number one strategy that I would fix in your mindset. Now, it doesn't mean go overboard, but it means to remember yourself and how important you are to you. Because if you were gone, no one could do what you do. So
Yeah.
I'm teaching myself that now too, as my children are older, and you know, my circles change and the things that I can do changes, and I'm being realistic. That's not going to work for me. I mean, there was a conference that I wanted to attend this weekend, but financially it's not going to work for me. And I had to recognize that in my budget. Going to that conference mean I can't get my hair done, can't get my nails done. I got to wait around next week. Can't really, you know, budget for my food like I want to. My
Mhm.
bills might be behind, but it would be good to be there. Yes, it's good to get away, but I got to wait. So knowing what's important to you and where it stands in your life and your budget, that's the number one thing. Don't forget yourself. If you
Absolutely.
feel like massages are a good thing and you want to go get a subscription, you know the cost of it, work it into your budget the right way. If I look at this and this is something I want to put into my budget, what am I willing to give up? What's my opportunity cost to add that into my budget?
You're right.
yes,
So you
ma'am.
mean I can't buy the $700 wig? Don't do
No,
that. Well,
No,
no.
don't
Look
do
at the
that. Not,
$200 wig instead. There's some other options out there. I think that's what you just told me.
or make that your savings goal for once that savings challenge is over. I can buy myself 3 wigs. I mean, you know,
There we
right.
go.
Yes.
work it into your life and be intentional about it.
Yes. And the thing is, everybody, she's not saying don't attend the conference, right? Because we know that opens up your network and connections and that can lead to other things. But if you've already gone to like 3, 4, 5 conferences that year and then you got vacations planned, you have to go to this person's wedding, like
Hmm.
you gotta look at the bigger picture. What is gonna make sense for your budget, right? If you are you gonna be okay with going to that conference and then not being able to get your hair done, your nails done, and be able to attend this wedding for the rest of the year because now that money that was allocated towards that is going towards their conference. So again, it's intentional, it's priorities. You know,
Right.
you have to really make a decision and make a choice. And then I love what you said about because we say it all the time on Tips and Tea. Don't forget to pay yourself.
Yes.
Yes. You
Who's gonna
definitely
take
have to
care of
do that.
future you? You gotta pour
Right.
into yourself sometimes. So you know, you making sure you pay yourself first. You also make sure that you are including you in your budget.
Mhm.
Yes,
Right.
you have to do that holistically too. It's not just about, oh, well, I put this little 10% up because that's what they told us the standard is. I
Mhm.
might be worth more than 10% to myself. So I'm going to put
Hello.
that up. And I'm gonna okay, what else do I need for me to be okay this month? Because I know stress happens, stress comes. And one of the things that blow our budget that we never thought about, that you don't think about, go to the emergency room one time because
Oh,
you're stressed out. I
Look,
would have rather take that $70, get a massage, or get a package. Groupon is good for that. Find a $20, $30 massage somewhere. Just be careful, you get what you pay for, but do your research. But that's something that I would consider paying myself first. It's the money, it's the mindset part. What's going to make me whole? What's going to make me okay in the course of the month? Because I still have to carry on for the rest of the month, and I still have my bills, and I don't want to touch my bill money. I don't want to say, oh man, I'm going to go get this shirt for my light bill to do. Let's sit down, look at your budget. Now we want to go through our utilities and see, hey, what am I paying for? I think as the people, we don't even look at our bills anymore when they come in. So think about all the charges that could be added in. Who's that? Nike or People's Gas? One of them. They used to have a charge for a comfort guard on your monthly bill every single time. And you call them and ask them what is it. They was like, oh, that's in case we have to come out to your home. Well, in the past 5 years, when have you come out to my house? Why am I paying $7.95 a month for you to come out to my house when I've never even seen you? You haven't dropped off a card. I haven't got a muffin, nothing like that. So
charges
it's
come out here.
right. Look at those bills. Look at what you're being charged for and say, hey, you're going to have to take this off. What can we reduce? And then there
Mhm.
are programs, budget programs that the utility companies have. If you need the help, there's assistance, LIHEAP, other types of assistance, Salvation Army, that you
mm,
may qualify for, where you can get the extra help and you didn't even know about it. And sometimes we say, well, we're too proud to take the help. But if you have a need, that's what it's there for. It's not there for people to abuse. But if you
mm,
seriously have a need and you need some help, reach out to them and say, hey, for the next couple of months, I'm struggling. Is there anything that you can do to help me? And utility companies have these resources, but I'm going to ask that you seriously take a look at some of these bills. Look at your phone bill and see what all that stuff is that they're charging you for. See if you can recognize it and know what it's for. So they will try and charge you. And guess what? You can find yourself saving that extra money from your utility bills each and every single month because you did that.
yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Those are
That is
some gems right there. Thank you, Queen. And yes, I'm on the budget plans. Look, for these utility companies, especially when I was living in Chicago, with the gas bill where it spikes a lot in the winter season. So I got on the budget plan. There's nothing wrong with being on the budget plan. We have to utilize these tools that are out here for us to make sure that we're staying aligned and on track. So thank you, Miss Tish, for all those gems you just dropped. I hope y'all had your pads and your pens. If not, definitely watch this replay, because
yes.
she's dropped so many great gems right now on this live. But Tish, for those who have not created a budget before, right, what are the first steps they should take to start organizing their finances?
Okay. First, I always tell people when you sit down and you go through your budget, you get ready to do your budget, it's going to stress you the hell out. So, what I want you to do is you're going to sit down, you're going to get your mind right. Again, we're talking about mindset, right? You're going to get yourself up ready for this fight. Okay, I know I'm about to do this budget. This is what I'm about to do. I'm going to listen to some music. I'm going to drink a glass of wine, take a bath, and you get your mind right first. And while you're doing that, you want to think about what it is that you want to accomplish. You have to have a goal in mind because your budget will not work if your goals are not together. You need a short term goal, you need a long term goal, mid range goal, and make sure that they are SMART goals too. And you might hear about SMART goals. Again, SMART goals simply mean that they're intentional, they're
Mm,
specific, really. They have a time limit. It's something that you can track. So you don't need all the details of what a SMART goal is, but if you want to, they're located in my book. I have it all here. You can find out that information, or you can reach out to me. But you've got to have a goal in mind before you can do the budget. Then you want to sit down and start thinking about how much money do I actually bring in? Not what I make. What do I actually bring in? That's going to be my starting point. I don't know if I can share things with you guys or not, or does it allow me to share screen here? I don't know.
Yeah, you should be able to hit the share button. It's click on the three dots there, there should be an option to share.
Okay, let me see.
Oh, you trying to share your book website or
Just like a clip on budgeting. Let me see. Is it gonna let me do it?
you have permission?
I might have to do it like.
If you want to send me the link, I can share it, but you can keep going until I can pull it up.
Okay. Let's see, because you want to take a look and you want to see how much is it that you're working with. We want to be intentional about that too, because a lot of times we think if we get a job and we're like, oh, I'm making $50,000 a year, but we know that that's not what you're actually bringing in.
Right.
You know, and you find out the hard. I found out the hard way when I thought I was doing it big, and they told me that I was going to be making like what was it back at the time? They were like, "Oh, we're gonna give you $16 an hour." I was like, "Ooh, I've never heard of that much money," you know. So, but when I got my actual check, and it was $500 less than what I thought it was gonna be, you know,
Mm.
and we don't think about all of those things, and so we want to make sure that we're paying attention, that we're following our guidelines, and knowing that when we set a goal, when we're looking at our budget, we've got to be realistic with ourselves too, to say whatever I'm supposed to be making, I'm only bringing 30% of that is not even coming home. 30% of that I will not even see. So we've got to be very intentional about that. And I'm trying to get this breakdown to you because you want to take a look at different categories to allow yourself to know, even though my budget might look like this amount is okay, this amount isn't okay, you know, and be intentional with it and fitting
Mhm.
those guidelines. I'm sending you a copy of the guidelines now. I just don't know why it's taking forever to get to me or get to you. But it's like for each category in your life, you got paying yourself. We always say that
Mhm.
10%, right? Exactly for you. But in all actuality, you can go anywhere from 15 and 20% for yourself. Again, it's all in what you feel within your budget. Your home payment should only be about 35% of your income. Now we know when you go to qualify for a house, they look at your debt to income ratio and they say that your debt to income ratio needs to be about a 45, right?
Mhm.
Which means that they're saying that about half of your income is supposed to go towards your house. Now think about that. Do I really want half of my income going towards my house? So we want to stay under like the 35% threshold. And when you're doing that, staying under the 35% threshold, that means that if you have $2,000 that you're bringing in, just a rule of thumb, $2,000 that you're bringing in, and you look at that and say 35% of $2,000 is what? $700. That means that my mortgage payment, my rent, everything that I'm doing with my utilities should be about $700. Now I'm just using that as an example. We know that that's not realistic, but it's about making sure that you can fit in those categories. So you take this rule that I have, and for your formula, you fit in your income and how you equate to what the national average is supposed to be. What's 35% of your pay? That's what your housing payment should be. What's 20% of your pay? That's what your debt payment should be geared towards. And so you fit yourself into these categories, and now you can sit down and look at, okay, I know what my income is. I know what the budget should look like. Now, where do I fall in? Now, let me go do it. My budget should be a mix of what I want my budget to look like, or what it actually is. And now we're going to make some adjustments. So let's see.
Yeah, I didn't get anything yet. Um, but while we're waiting on that, does anyone have any questions? Let me check the chat real quick to see if we have any questions coming in from the chat. We have Destiny saying she loves replace survival with intentional. She loves that. All
Yes.
right, Miss Tish dropping the gems in the chat. Someone already put the Amazon, put the book in their cart. Let's go, Queens. Look, we're not playing this
No,
one.
that is
Let's see.
awesome and amazing.
Okay,
I'm really enjoying this
it
live this morning, getting so many gems. Thank you, Tish.
you are welcome. I just sent the check your phone text message because it's not allowing me to send. Is there a way you can show that?
Let me see if I can do this. Let me pull it up here.
But what she's pulling up is the formulas that I was telling you about when you want to sit down and look at your budget and start getting things together. Also have a worksheet that's available to anyone that wants it. You can reach out to me. You can send me a message. You can send a message to C and Chantella, and just let them know, hey, I want that worksheet that she was talking about, and it'll help you establish these SMART goals when you're sitting down and you're getting ready. One thing I do want to preface, I want to cross a little bit while we get that ready, is that again, my book is available. And right now, my goal is to get these into the hand of as many people that can. So, what I'm offering is a buy one, bless one. So, if you purchase this book, I will send another book to someone in need. You can pick that person. You can go on my website, throw their name in there, let me know their address, their name and their address, and I'll get this over to them right away. So, when you purchase one, we want to bless someone else with another one. And it's about getting that information to them. Thank you so much for bringing it up. So,
Absolutely. So you have the worksheet up on the screen.
So we can send this over to you again when you're thinking about what should my budget look like. A lot of times what you'll find out is that when you start tracking those little things that you do, because that's the next step of this. As we make adjustments, we can't just blanket make adjustments. We've got to look at what are those things that we are actually doing in our lives. So my challenge, this is what I did. I do it with clients. I've done it for myself. And again, it's being intentional. For the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna intentionally not pay attention. And I know that sounds crazy, but what I want you to do is that we know what our end goal is. So you want to set a reminder in your phone from your start date to your end date, 2 weeks. I want you to live life normally. Do what you need to do, whatever you've been doing. If you get gas and you go inside the gas station and you get a pop, everybody knows that the difference between a pop at the store being $1 and at the gas station being $7.25, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But
So
I don't
true.
want you to think about it, because when you're trying to do your budget and you're thinking about it, then you stop tracking those things that you normally do. And that's what we want to catch. We want to catch those slip ups and those spending leaks that we're creating on our own. So for 2 weeks, and you can do a month, but it might be kind of pricey. But 2 weeks, I want you to go out there and just live life. Do what you do, unintentional. And then once that timer stops, you're going to go back through. I want you to save your receipts, look at your receipts, save them in an envelope. If you get actual receipts, put them in an envelope in your car. So when you're doing something, you have that receipt right there. Or if you're doing it online, electronically, pay attention to everything, because at the end of this 2 weeks, you're going to go through all of those receipts. You're going to go through your bank statements and you're going to see what those things are. And I do this in my classes that I teach at the housing authorities. So you're sitting there, you're looking at those statements, you're like, I had one lady, she brought in her bank statements and she's like, oh my God. She was like, I did not see that I was spending all this money. She was like, I
Mhm.
thought I was just going to the store once a week. She was like, no, I went like every other day and I bought this and I bought that. And then I say, sit in the room that you're in right now and look around and say, what is it? If I could take some of this stuff back and just have the money, what would I take back right this very second? And I know I'm sitting here looking at stuff like, I didn't need the candles. I really didn't need this. I liked it. It was pretty, but did I actually have to buy it? So it's as you go through the 2 weeks of what you were doing that you look around the room and say, what could I trade back in? What am I saying that this is really worth it? This was worth me not having any money right now. And you think about those things, and that's when you start to look at, okay, Now I can change my habits. I have my budget. I know what I need in the month. That includes myself, everything that I want to do, but I've got my utilities, I've got my debt payments, I've got all of this, I've got my, bills and everything on this sheet of paper. And now I'm looking at my life.
Hmm.
What did I do the past 2 weeks that now that I'm looking at it, I was like, oh man, I shouldn't have did that. I got
Yeah,
to
why
call
you robbing
Chantel and tell
yourself?
her.
Why you look at it like that? Why are you robbing yourself? You stealing
Right.
from yourself when you spending all this money on unnecessary things.
That
You
is so
really
true.
do.
I mean, it's going to be needs versus wants. Do you really, really want that or do you need it? You know, if you just want something, it can wait. But a
Hmm.
necessity like food, and then, we have to be smart and budget with our food because all the prices are
Yes.
steadily raising.
Right. And if you think about it, sometimes this is a little bit, in my mind, how much is it to go to McDonald's right now?
Ooh, depending on what you get, everything's more expensive now.
Right.
Um, I went through the
I could
drive-through at Wendy's over the weekend to pick up some food, and it was almost $40.
see that's crazy. But then it's like, okay, I know this day I'm not going to be able to make anything. I do want to get something. Let me do it smart and responsibly. I know right now, McDonald's, I can go get a quarter pounder meal or whatever for about $13.49, right? That's just for me, right? But on the flip side of that, Portillo's got a burger meal special running for $9.99. So it's like I'm constantly always paying attention to deals. So if I'm going to do something, I'm going to make sure that I'm saving money on whatever I'm doing. I use all types of loyalty programs. My phone is full of so many different apps for that. Like put my number in, I'm getting money off of gasoline at Meyer, at Speedway, at BP, wherever I can go. I want that little 10 cents off. You might not treasure it, but I do. So I know Bona has meals on certain days where we can get money off. So it's being intentional about that. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it in a way that it still preserves my budget and everything that I want to do it. And if I can't find it that way, then I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait. Like me going to the coffee shop, I couldn't tell you, once I got that coffee pot, and it was like a $200 investment, but guess how much it saved me real quick.
Yes, yes, discipline over desire.
Yes, I became my own favorite barista.
There
I
we
know that's
go.
right.
All right, everybody. Well, we got to start wrapping things up pretty quickly here because we're coming to the top of the hour. How did we get here? It was definitely getting so good. But if you want more information on that budgeting sheet, please go ahead and drop a me in the chat, and we'll make sure we take note of that. Make sure that Tish can reach out to you and get you over that information. And then here at Tips and Tea, we also want to buy 3 books and give them to our studio audience here, or our live audience here at
Yes.
Tips and Tea. So we're buying 3 books to give out to everyone here at Tips and Tea. And Tish, on top of that, is donating another 3 books. So we got 6 books
Let's
that we're
go.
giving
Yes.
on Tips and Tea. So definitely, if you're interested, go ahead and drop budget in the chat if you're interested in that book. And the first people to respond, we're gonna get you that book. So you better be quick with them fingers. Let's go.
Yes,
We
I
want
know I want my copy, honey.
to we want to see who the quickest. But Tish, just any parting words you want to share with our live audience here, something that they can really set a goal on and focus in on. What would you leave them with today as we get ready to close out this live?
Um, just make sure that you remember that you always want to, again, like you guys always say, I hear you say it all the time, pay yourself first, but it's not just in money, it's in everything you do. Preserve your health, your mindset, and your finances, because financial freedom begins when you replace the survival with intention. So we want to be intentional in everything that we do. Don't be oblivious. Hold yourself accountable. And I'm still learning how to do that. So when you mess up, just know the point that you messed up, you can start over right then and there and make it intentional.
All right, we love it. Oh,
Yeah.
y'all drop some fire in the chat for Miss Tish.
Yes, yes. And I see those budget being dropped in the chat too. I wrote down the names.
They lighten it up.
Perfect.
They like, give me that book.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much, ladies. This is
Oh, no problem. No problem at all. It's always a pleasure having you on, Tish. Definitely appreciate you,
you.
Queen. Right.
Can't wait till I
Absolutely.
come back. Like these are conversations that need to be had because again, back in the day, I wouldn't talk to you about money. I know Chantella, when I first met you, I wouldn't talk to you about money.
Well, I'll be
So
all up in people's business. So eventually she told me anyway. I'm
Yes,
like,
yes,
why we
yes.
gatekeeping? Girl, come on, let's have we go to the coffee shop. We're gonna sit down, we're gonna talk about this because we can't be living in survival mode no more. We gotta get out of there.
exactly. Exactly.
Become
And
an
doing it
accountability
together is the best
partner.
way.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
absolutely. Thank you, everyone. I see a lot of budgets in the chat. We got some fire. Thank you, Miss Tish. And then everyone, just what are you working on this year, right? Are you working on paying off debt? Are you working on saving money, buying a home, starting a business, improving your credit, whatever it is?
Mhm.
Yeah, what you said, there's intentionality behind that, right? We have to move with intention. We're not going to be able to hit these goals if we're not paying ourselves, right? Whether that looks like financially, spiritually, personally. We got to focus in on these things because we got to get ourselves prepared and ready to order to get these things. Because if we don't prepare ourselves, we're not going to be able to keep it, right?
That's
Remember
true.
that you're going to lose it. So the preparation, no matter how long it takes, that's your timeline. Don't be worried about what other people are gonna think or say about your timeline. That's between you and God, right? Because
That's
if you
right.
working on it, He gonna prepare you and He gonna steward you that way. You can keep this and grow it, right? This is where the legacy come from. This is where the generational wealth come from. It starts with you. So we're moving with intentionality. And again, I just want to say thank you, Miss Tish. We love you, Queen. We definitely appreciate each and every time you come on and share with the live audience, with ourselves, because I got my notes over here too, y'all. Look at this book. Look at this book. So, look, I'm ready. I'm ready for my
Thank
2026, my wealthy woman era.
I know
It's
that's
right.
right.
right. Walking into it. Walking
Yes,
into it for
yes,
real. Keeping the coins. That's part of being a queen.
yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
absolutely. Yes. And if you need any financial guidance or any help, Tish is definitely here to get you on the way. She's also a licensed loan officer, everyone. So if you are looking to purchase a home or you're looking to purchase a property, Tish can definitely get you on track with helping you get to that goal. She'll be able to run your credit, see where you're at, and see what you get qualified for, and talk about what moves you want to make. So if you want to reach out to Tish directly, please let us know. We'll make sure the two of you will get connected. And then again, we just want to say thank you everyone for jumping on our live this morning. We do have to run. See any closing words you want to say to the live audience?
Sure. Just want to say thank you all so much for tuning in. We hope that this information blessed you. And in lieu of Women's History Month, we are helping people and giving away a free financial analysis. Also, we have the free LLC setup going on and $50 off of credit repair. And today we talked about what it really means to budget like a queen. You need to know your numbers, manage your money, and be financially stable. And again, we just thank you so much, Tish, for joining us today. And like, follow, and share. And don't forget about our YouTube channel, Tips and Tea Live. Everybody have a blessed Tuesday and a blessed rest of your week.
Amen. Let's go, everybody. See you next Tuesday.